Hi, I'm Michael Hines here for Hudson Valley Sports Report, and we're out here to watch Marlboro take on Westlake. With these two teams coming into the state tournament, they were built around very different strategies. Marlboro is known for their very high-powered offense, putting up no less than 40 points in each game this season, while Westlake came out of a tight 6-0 matchup to make their way into this game. So with a high-powered offense and a strong defense, you got to see what happens.
We didn't know what to expect coming into today's game. We knew Westlake had a great defense and Marlboro had a stunning offense. But, as it turned out, today would be a very defensive matchup. Early on, it was the big boys up front who were pushing through the O-line and stopping anyone trying to gain some yards. And it wasn't just one defense that was holding him down. It was all of them. As Phil DeSantis tries to break free a run, the Westlake defenders are right there to stop him in his tracks. Dropping back now is Westlake, they just can't get away from the Marlboro defenders, and both teams were just losing ground. The ball kept going back and forth early on in the game, with neither team making progress. Finally, Westlake was able to bring the ball down into the Marlboro territory, and while they were trying to make some moves, it just wasn't happening with the Marlboro defense. On the ground it didn't work, so when they try through the air, it's picked off by John Perugino and Marlboro would take over. While the interception didn't lead to anything immediately, Marlboro would instead, later on in the half, start making their way down the field. With a few runs from Reno Tamburi, they were able to get closer and closer and into field goal territory. To end the half, it's Nick Mongelli who boots this one 41 yards and into the wind to get the first points of the game out there to make it 3-0 Dukes. Although Marlboro held the lead at halftime, it didn't last long. To start off the second half, this kick return here by Ryan Duffy seems to slide just outside of the Marlboro defenders. Now after he breaks this one up the side, there was no question that he was gone. He brings this one home for a very long kick return touchdown, and all of a sudden Westlake is on top, 7-3. Throughout the game, both of these teams were trying to get the ball moving on the ground. There were some chances of success though. Here, Anthony Sardo busts free from the Westlake side of the 50 and turns this one over for a 52-yard touchdown run. This would extend Westlake's lead to 14-3. After those two big plays, the spotlight again fell on the defenses. Here, as Westlake tries to pitch the ball out wide, Marlboro forces the ball free to take it over. So now Marlboro has some momentum going forward. But on that very next drive, Phil DeSantis leans back and tosses this one up, but it's picked off by Westlake. This was one of a handful of interceptions on the day thrown by Marlboro. But then once Westlake takes that ball and brings it back, what happens again? Well, Marlboro knocks the ball loose and recovers the fumble. Marlboro block a punt and force it in for a safety, but after that, they didn't get any more points on the board. Here you could see a hard hit by the Westlake defense shows just what they were playing like today. And with that, Westlake wins this game 14-5, and they are moving on to the next round of the states while Marlboro's season comes to a close.
Now, that was a hard-fought game, and it was very defensive. Can you take us through some of it?
Just great. Right off the bat, our defense did fantastic. We read our keys, we lined up correctly, and then we just shot the gaps, man. Props to Tayo and our linebackers. Tayo Kimbuboye had a fantastic game along with Frank. And the whole defense there, we had a great game. We had that pick, John Perugino, with that great pick defense for the defensive backs. Didn't let him throw the ball too much, which was nice. We read our keys, and we just went for it, man. It was great. It's downhill defense. It was great. What a great game. And Westlake side, too, they had great defense as well. It was just a fantastic defensive game, and I think that's definitely what you want to see. I think it was great for the fans and everybody else.
So what were some of the things that you saw you really liked in today's game?
What I liked today's game was how we held our heads high by the end. We fought, we kept fighting, and that's how you want to end it. You don't want the other team especially to say, yeah, that was what a cakewalk, and I hope they're not saying that, because we, especially the defense and the offense, we kept going and we kept fighting, and that's definitely what I'm proud of our team, and what I liked. Defense, we kept our keys, we lined up correctly, and we just played downhill like we're supposed to. Offense, we did the same thing. They just stayed in there, just fought. like the hard yards I got, give it to my linemen. It was tough defense, great linebackers, and we kept getting a little bit of yards, 3 yards, 5 yards, and we're not expecting it. That's a football game. Running backs aren't supposed to get 20 yards all the time. They're supposed to get the 3-5 yards, and same thing with our other backs. We have some great shiny moments on our offense, and then we had some not good moments on our offense, but we fought through it, and I'm very proud.